know him from the Smiley Morning Show. Now he's got his own show. Radio Theology is on ZPL. Here's Pub Pastor Daron.
Good morning, Indiana. What's up? It's Radio Theology, your weekly dose of faith, hope, love, and music. Pastor Daron here with Ryan and Lisa. Oh my goodness, guys, it's October 27th.
I can't believe it.
This year will not stop.
No, it won't.
Are you laying in bed right now thinking to yourself, I don't want to wake up? Now I know the date. Now I know what time it is. I mean, you can look at the clock. But I'm just saying, it's time to wake up. We're glad that you woke up with us.
Yes.
How do you guys wake up?
Usually one of two children likes to come and hit me on the head sometimes.
Oh, being beaten into consciousness.
Sometimes like just the screaming, the mom! You know, sometimes that's the worst type of alarm I could think of.
Yeah, I don't want you to tell that story anymore. I'm starting to sweat thinking
It's a very
about it.
jarring start of the day.
Ryan,
It's not ideal.
Are you a quick waker-upper, or is it kind of a slow?
It takes me like 2 hours to fully wake up.
What time do you have to start? Like 4 a.m.?
No, it just, I've always loved sleep. I just always have.
You know what I think is interesting is that the sound of your alarm.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know, what do you guys go with for alarms? Because for me, when the iPhone came out with that new bedtime app thing where you could get like the fun, nice, gentle song.
Oh, okay.
Like I like it. Like I'm gonna put it on the background. Like my alarm. It's like, oh hey,
Slowly.
Oh man, that's
hey
nice.
buddy.
That's like a Coldplay song.
Yeah. It's like, hey, maybe it's time to wake up. Have you thought about waking up soon?
That's
now,
really
it sounds
nice.
but it's about at this point when I'm getting mad that I've now been woken up and I'm just trying to find the little button to shut it off and snooze it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that little song,
It's
so
so
nice.
gentle.
it's gazillion times better than the old traditional
I love it.
sound of the alarm.
This is what I'm just the regular I'm on the default setting.
Yeah.
Default setting
It's
alarm.
very basic.
Yeah.
That's very abrasive.
It is abrasive. Yes. But if you can compare it to the mom, it's one and the same.
Radio Theology, your weekly dose of faith, hope, love, and music. Pastor Daron here with Ryan and Lisa. Thanks for waking up with us. And how do you wake up? Ryan, you say it takes a while for you to get the juices flowing.
Yeah, it does. I use an app when I sleep, a white noise app, and it wakes me up to a pan flute.
A what?
Huh?
A pan flute.
A Yaz flute?
No, it's not a
John
Yaz
Burgundy?
flute. It's a pan flute.
What is it? Play it for us. What is this?
Isn't that nice?
That's how you wake up?
Yeah.
You know what that?
Wait. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
It's like I'm entering a Chinese dojo or something.
This sounds like massage music.
right.
Yeah.
This would instantly put me to sleep with the expectation that someone is going to rub my back.
Yeah, exactly.
That's me waking up mad every single day that
Actually,
I'm
you know
not
what?
getting a massage.
I wake up pretty pleasant every morning with that.
I might get down with that because if I could like the 8 or 16 or whatever that next add 8 more to that 24 minutes of snooze time that I usually do.
Oh, yeah.
If I could just fantasize that I was actually getting a back rub during that time, maybe I would wake up refreshed.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe I just need a little pan flute in my life.
Yeah, there are studies that if you're a snoozer, like if you hit snooze, like it's actually you wake up feeling less refreshed, like the falling back asleep and then being jarred up awake again.
Yeah,
it actually makes you feel emptier and more tired throughout the day.
How do you wake up every morning? Share it with us, maybe on Twitter or radiotheology.com this morning. We'd love to hear your alarm sound. Let's just wake up together. I don't know if you're a snooze button person like me or like Ryan says we got to wake right up. Maybe you need a little pan flute in your life. I don't know. We're just glad you woke up with us this morning right here. It's Radio Theology, your weekly dose of faith, hope, love, and music. I got a quiz for you guys. You ready?
What's that?
Men do this 6 times a year. What is it? Ryan?
Take out the trash without being asked.
Oh, that's good. That's
Ooh.
good. Lisa, 6 times a year, men do this.
Bring home flowers.
Ah, good guess. Romantic, maybe making up for something they've done wrong, or maybe
It's
just
possible.
making an investment in the love account. Nope, it's cry.
Oh, only 6 times?
Big boys don't cry, except they do. Researchers say men shed a tear at least 6 times a year. They cry at funerals, when their dogs die, and most commonly at weddings.
Okay, so that's once every other month, basically.
It's not bad.
That seems on par, I would say.
Now, Lisa, we've been around you for quite a many years. Our listeners love you, love the input you bring to the show.
Sure.
If they've been listening to the show for really just mere moments.
Right.
They've probably picked up the fact that you tend to cry about 6 times a day.
Yeah, usually.
Do you think you're abnormal, or is was that a women thing? Do women cry a bunch, or do you have overactive tear ducts?
I have overactive tear ducts for sure. There's no way that most women cry as much as I do, although I find myself very emotionally healthy.
Would you say you cry 365 times a year?
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
Maybe not every day.
But multiple times in a day would make up for the day you didn't cry.
Of course, yes, by far.
It's a tear bank.
Yes, I'm gonna say strongly 500 times a year I cry.
Wow, Radio Theology, your weekly dose of faith, hope, love, and music. Pastor, you're here with Ryan and Lisa. Lisa says she may cry 500 times a year.
Yeah.
The average man cries 6 times, 6 times a year. Ryan, do you think we as men we should cry more?
Should? I don't know. I mean, I think 6 times a year is probably on par for me. I can say that from my experience.
Okay, How many times do you think that that a shedding of tear, a release of emotion could happen, and you shove it down?
I would say that happens to me daily.
So you could cry every day, but you shut it down and you push it down so deep. And then finally, when you're at a wedding or a funeral, you're like, I'm still crying about the sandwich I lost from last week.
Well,
right?
If you're crying about a sandwich you lost, we have bigger problems.
Yeah, I'm not a super emotional person when it comes to negative emotion.
Yeah, I don't do negative
I
emotion.
just don't.
Yeah.
I'm just a guy. I'm like, here's the issue. Here's how you solve it. Move on.
My wife will show me like a Facebook thing about somebody's kid that's dying of something and start reading it. And she'll get emotional and read this. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that's healthy.
No.
I'm just saying, hey, I'm watching football. I know there are bad things in the world. I'm going to try to pretend like there's not.
Yeah.
That sounds healthy, right, guys?
Now, I will say military homecoming videos trigger second grade Ryan, who had a dad in the Navy.
Yeah, that'll get you.
Home. That gets me every time.
Yeah, anything about dogs dying for me, that's a wrap.
Yep, me too. And then everything else.
Hey, Ryan, I have let's do this. Let's challenge each other. Let's challenge each other. We're going to cry more this month.
I'm good, bro. I don't think we need to. I really don't.
Okay, well, now I know both of your triggers, and when you least suspect it, you're going to get some videos that pop into your text message inbox.
Cry alert. Cry alert. Hey, let us know. Do you cry? Men, we'd love to hear from you. Ladies as well. Do you cry more than 6 times a year, fellas? And ladies, can anyone compete and beat Lisa's 500 times a year?
It's a lot.
It's a lot. All right, let's have a great debate. Coming back, here it is. To cry or not to cry? That is the question.
Mm-hmm. Let's answer it.
Right
Bring it
here
on.
Radio. Oh, come on.
Bring it.
I'm going to get mean right now. You're going to start crying.
Oh, my gosh. Proves my point.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the brawl of the eyeballs. To cry or not to cry, that is the question. We are here with Pastor Daron Earlywine and the lovely Lisa Graft debating how often should you cry.
Thank you, Dr. Wigglebottom. Welcome back to Radio Theology. We brought in our consummate specialist of all things history and evidently cry debates, Dr. Horatio Wigglebottom, Ph.D., here on Radio Theology. And here's the deal. We found a stat this week that men cry about 6 times a year, which I think is just fine.
Sure.
There's 365 days in a year. If you want to cry 6 times a year, no problem. Lisa, you feel that a number closer to 500 times a year
Yep.
is necessary.
For me. For me.
And I think that's
A little excessive.
a little
You could say
excessive. Possible dehydration. So we brought Dr. Wigglebottom in to mediate and moderate a debate between you and I on how many times it's appropriate to cry.
Yes.
Right.
Wigglebottom, I'll turn it over to you.
So far, it's very civil.
Yeah.
I appreciate the civility that is being practiced.
Dr.
right
Wigglebottom,
now.
we can't get aggressive. Lisa will start crying.
Oh my, the gauntlet has been thrown down.
Well,
Lisa, do you care to respond?
I do care to respond.
Go ahead,
Please
Lisa.
do.
And I'm just going to tell you that I believe it's emotionally healthy to cry because if you feel like crying, you should cry. Right? Because I think what you're saying is I feel like crying 40 times a year, but I don't. I shove it down and then it comes out next week as anger.
I'm just saying.
How is that healthier than just crying when you need to cry?
I think it's healthier because you know how awkward it is when you're around somebody when they cry. Ryan, you know how it is. I mean, you don't want me and you hanging out and all of a sudden I'm crying all the time.
Yeah, it can be pretty unexpected, I think, between bros. I just don't know if guys know how to handle it. like another dude crying. I just don't know if we know how.
Dr. Wigglebottom, are you a big crier?
I am not, Daron.
See? 2-on-1 here. What we're saying is, I understand it can be healthy. What I'm saying is, if you just start spewing out tears all the time, everybody around you gets awkward. I don't know what I do. Do I give you a tissue? Do I hug you? Do I tell you to stop? I don't know what to do.
So you're telling me that's how you view our entire relationship? Is that what you said? That's what I'm hearing you say.
I'm saying...
Oh, my. This is... The plot thickens. This just got awkward.
What I'm saying is, it's Radio Theology, a weekly dose of faith, hope, love, and music. Pastor Daron here with Ryan and Cry Lisa. What I am saying is, I did not grow up in a home where there was a lot of emotion being shared.
Now we learn the backstory.
Yes.
So, as we have in the beginning parts of our friendship, when you would start one of your 500 cry times a year, I didn't exactly know what to do with it.
Right.
I wasn't sure, do I just let her cry? Do I give her a tissue? I don't know.
Right.
It makes me feel out of control. And my point from the Bible would be that it does say in 1 Corinthians 14 that God is a God of order, and chaos from tears is non-biblical.
Wow.
Got it.
Daron with the scriptural foundation for his point. Lisa, do you care to counterpoint?
Yes, I see your scriptural point, and I raise you. John 11:35.
Oh, my.
Jesus wept.
Oh.
Yes.
What
Wept.
they don't know is what the scholars omitted or they edited out is what said Jesus wept about 6 times a year. That just didn't make it through.
I'm going to fact check that later with my friends at the theology department.
Oh, my goodness.
Here's the deal. I'm going to say crying healthy, but I'm also going to say it could get out of hand. When we come back, let's see if we can find a middle ground.
Okay.
Dr. Wigglebottom, you have helped us.
I'm very glad to hear that. Thank you.
Welcome back to the Great Cry Debate of 2019 here on Radio Theology. Your weekly dose of faith, hope, love, and music. Pastor Daron here with Ryan and Lisa. Statistically, men like Ryan and I cry 6 times a year.
Sure.
I'm going to give it to you that we could probably up the amount of crying that happens.
Sure, because you have admitted that you shove down the urge to cry because you feel weak.
I have been known to put a hard stop on tears before. Ryan, have you been known to just choke down some tears? Like, nope, not today, tears.
Yeah, for sure. That tends to be my MO. Let me ask you this.
Okay.
When you do cry,
right,
what tends to make you cry, and how long does the cry session last until you can feel back to your neutral state?
You see, I found a stat this week that said something like the average cry session is like 3 or 4 minutes. And I was like,
what?
If I cried for 3 minutes, I would admit myself to like a mental hospital.
No, it's like 10 seconds tops.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah, it's usually military homecoming videos for me because I was that kid that had their dad come home in 2nd grade.
Well, and so there's pain there.
Serving.
You've visited a healthy place of pain, and you've been able to let some of that out.
Yeah, but it's like maybe a single tear that I feel welling up, but then it's just like it just dries up. It does whatever it does.
I think in my mind the thought is like, what good does crying do? Let's think about it. But then my counselor tells me to stop thinking my emotions.
Yes.
And just cry them.
Which is great advice, but I reject it totally. Radio Theology, your weekly dose of faith, hope, love, and music. Pastor Daron with Ryan and Lisa. And here's the deal. Lisa, I will give you this. Ryan and I, and probably most men, need to get a little more in touch with our emotions.
Sure.
It's healthy.
Yes.
Now, 500 times a year, I think you're setting a world record. I think you could join us in the middle here somewhere.
That's so many tears.
But can we say this? That we've said this before. I don't know where I got this quote, but I think it's gospel truth, is that emotions are great companions, but they are terrible leaders
Yes.
in our life.
Oh, for sure. For sure. That's something that I'm actually trying to learn. And maybe through tears I'm learning it.
Okay.
But I am trying to get more in touch with my own emotions by naming them instead of crying through them. So maybe bringing more of the thinking into it.
Got it.
But then just be led more by the Spirit instead of being led by my emotions.
So embrace the emotions, but don't let them make decisions for you.
Right.
Let God begin to guide and direct where that's going and maybe the decision making. Because if you're making decisions based on the emotions,
oh, yeah.
now we've got a recipe for disaster.
Oh, for sure. And then how many, I've been making 40,000 decisions a day. Just depending on how I feel, that's a little wild. A little wild.
I like it.
I don't want you guys to think that I'm like a robot. Like I cried at my papa's funeral. Like I cried at the birth of my children.
It's not about being a robot.
I cried in the studio the other day.
We never said you're a robot.
Oh, you did?
I was recording a song that I was like, oh, this part is really, really moving me.
That's healthy.
And I let it go into like writing the rest of the song.
See?
But I wasn't like sitting in the corner
The
weeping,
magic
rocking
of
back and
tears.
forth.
The magic of tears.
I don't think it's weakness. I'm with you. I see it's like, what's the point of this right now?
It's cathartic and cleansing. It actually removes toxins from your body.
That is true. I read that this week. I'll give you that. Okay, fine. Listen, we need to cry more. But here's the bottom line. Emotions, great companions, terrible leaders.
Yeah.
If your tears are your captain of decision-making,
Oh, boy.
listen, back the truck up.
Yeah.
Stop up the tear ducts.
Yeah. That ship is going down.
Now,
Fast.
if you're all, emotionally constipated, also not healthy.
Yeah.
For you know it, you might crap your pants of tears.
Oh, boy.
I mean, wait, no.
No.
Play a song.
Oh, my
We'll
gosh.
be back. Radio Theology. We say it every week. You were created on purpose and for purpose, and we've got a resource to help you unlock a lot of that purpose. Right here on Radio Theology, your weekly dose of faith, hope, love, and music. Pastor Daron here with Ryan and Lisa, joined by our good friend, Ray Hilbert. Ray from Truth at Work. Ray, welcome to Radio Theology.
Hey, it's great to be here.
You guys have your annual conference coming up, which is called what?
It's called the Truth at Work Conference.
Oh, well, that was pretty simple.
Very creative.
We worked really hard on that.
Yeah. Wow.
Hours.
Yeah. November 8th, it's going to be up at Northview Church up in Carmel. And you guys have thousands of business leaders a part of Truth at Work and the roundtables. And you just conference every year. It's just an absolute power-packed day of amazing, inspirational content. What's the lineup look like this year?
Yeah, so we're really blessed again this year, Daron, to have an amazing lineup from ranging from Frank Harrison, who's the CEO of Coca-Cola Consolidated. They're the largest manufacturer and distributor of Coke products in America today. John Acuff, 6-time New York Times bestselling author, is just an amazing communicator. I'm really excited. We're going to be hearing from Megan Alexander, who's a featured correspondent from CBS's Inside Edition.
Ooh, Inside Edition.
And then for our sports and football fans, we have the chaplain of the Alabama Crimson Tide football team, Jeremiah Castile. He's going to rock the house. He is amazing.
Roll Tide.
I wonder if he's their secret to victory. They're like, it's not about the talent. It's about our chaplain.
Right.
Is this conference, Ray, do you have to be a business leader to go, or is this for anybody?
No, it really is for anybody. While it's called the Truth at Work Conference, our theme this year is called Eternal Business, Real Life. And what's going to happen at this event is these speakers are going to talk about what does it look like to live your life and lead your organization or your department or even your family with a kingdom perspective. But how does that play out in terms of real life? That while we've got eternity in mind, we've got real deadlines, we've got real pressures, we've got real whiny employees, we've got real things that we're dealing with. So this amazing lineup of speakers are going to help us learn how to work through those tensions and balance points.
Where can people get tickets for the event?
Yeah, real easy. The tickets are on a donation basis. When someone goes to register, they can buy a ticket or get a ticket at any cost, including free if finances are a challenge for them. They just go to truthatwork.org/conference. That's truthatwork.org/conference.
It's Radio Theology, weekly dose of faith, hope, love, and music. Pastor here with Ryan and Lisa, talking to Ray Hilbert from Truth at Work. They got a huge conference coming up November 8th. We want you to know about 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. You can get tickets at truthatwork.org/conference. And we got a call, line 1. It's Coop.
Yeah, so tell me more about this, Truth at Work conference. What is this all about?
Oh, hey, is this Coop, our life coach friend from Carmel?
Yeah, what's up, bro? How you doing? I was just doing my yoga and heard you guys on the radio interrupt my very peaceful meditation and was kind of triggered by what you're talking about and just wanted some more information if that's cool.
Yeah, how were you triggered?
Well, so I don't really believe in, truth or, honestly, work. I think they're both, primitive social constructs. And
Right.
I just, how do you have a conference with both truth when truth is totally relative and work that is, totally, outdated and a thing of the past?
Right, I understand, Coop. Ray, can you help him out? Maybe this is the exact conference on November 8th, that Coop would need to go to, maybe for a fresh start.
Yeah, well, Coop, I would just ask, is finding purpose to your life and work and really having a big picture behind what you're doing, if that's important, then I think you can discover that at this event.
Okay, the most important question I have is there lunch?
The event ends at 1, but we'll give you some great snacks in the middle of the day to hold you over. Does that sound okay?
Okay, good. Yeah, because I'm totally vegan, gluten-free, non-denominational, all that stuff. Okay. Well, I'll see you guys there. This sounds like a blast.
I appreciate it, Coop. Listen, hey, if you come, you can go to truthatwork.org/conference. You can register, and if you come, I'll buy your lunch, Coop.
Oh my gosh, that sounds amazing. That really means a lot. Deuces, guys. See you there.
Oftentimes you read a news story, and the only 3 words you can say are,
Lord have mercy.
Lisa, what do you got for us?
We're going south of the border and then south of that border all the way to Ecuador.
All right, here we go.
All right.
Yeah, where people cook guinea pigs in Ecuador.
Whoa.
Okay? And they eat them. They cook them and eat them with
Okay.
potatoes and peanut sauce, traditionally.
Hey, you know what? Different strokes for different folks.
Yes. So her name is Maria del Carmen Pilapana, and she has decided that she's going to make guinea pig flavored ice cream.
No.
So you can now eat ice cream, and surprisingly, it's tasty.
No, it's
according to the one man that this interview
Who survived the first ice cream
Does
cone?
it have guinea pig guts and stuff in it?
guinea pig, yes, it's
No.
Yeah.
made
No.
with guinea pig.
No, I'm sticking with cookies and cream.
Wow, that's
Well,
really
for
gross.
sure, Oreo or guinea pig. I mean,
It's really gross. Usually, we want to be compassionate to other cultures, but we can just flat out say, that's nasty.
Yeah,
That's
you got to
nasty.
draw a line somewhere.
You just stop, Ecuador.
Listen,
what are you
look.
doing?
just don't.
Let's join hands across America and send them a whole shipment of Reese's Pieces and say, hey, toss this in some ice cream. See what it does.
Try
for you.
this instead. Have you heard of Cold Stone? Good grief.
For them and all the guinea pigs that were harmed in the reading of the story, we just say a heartfelt, Lord have mercy. All right, we're going to San Jose, California.
Okay.
Where Brian Gundy, who runs a great little shop called For Goodness Snakes.
Aw.
I love that.
For Goodness Snakes. He was doing a presentation at Martin Luther King Jr. Library for some kids,
Aw.
taking his bag full of snakes out to his car.
Okay.
Had to run back in, came back. A thief had helped himself to the bag,
Oh, my.
Oh.
thinking it may have contained, who knows, maybe some audiovisual equipment, money,
Yeah.
but not 2 pythons and a lizard.
Oh my God. That's the worst
I
find.
love that.
If I was a criminal, that would literally be my worst nightmare.
Yeah. Mhm.
Like, dude, I got the duffel bag. I think it's full of cash. You know, open it, and it's 2 pythons and a lizard.
Yeah, just grabs onto your face and doesn't let go.
Instant justice.
Yeah.
Some garage surveillance video helped them catch
my
the thieves.
gosh. Wow.
But I'm sure when they opened that freaking bag, they said to themselves,
Lord have mercy.
Ryan, take us home.
Oh, you guys, I don't know how this happened, okay? I'm going to preface that with this. And neither do police outside of Detroit, up in Michigan. Recently, they received numerous calls from concerned drivers on the interstate.
Okay.
That as they're going by this particular digital billboard,
Okay, I've seen digital billboards before.
they saw quite a scene. Let's just put it that way. Many were possibly aroused by the scene. If I can speak even more
Subtly?
subtly,
And in code?
maybe it looked like it was an ad for a gentleman's establishment.
Oh, boy.
But it wasn't an ad. It
Oh.
was like what's going down, plus some.
Okay.
Oh.
It looked like female wrestling.
Oh, boy.
Got it.
Uh-huh.
Got it.
How long was this
yeah.
said video being played on the freeway?
Oh, just a short 20 minutes.
20 minutes?
20 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
So anyway,
Oh, boy.
some of the quotes on this, we might post it. I don't know if we want to post this
We're not
online
gonna
or
post
not.
the video that
no,
was on
certainly
there
not
for
going to
20
post the
minutes.
video.
No.
But some of the quotes of the drivers when they called police were hilarious of just what they saw. They're like, I was just looking up and I was like, oh, that's some, anyway,
What it was.
what it was. I can only imagine that parents with small children in the car as they drove past.
Cover your eyes!
Yeah.
Look away!
Yeah. Why are they hugging?
Evidently, this was all traced back to a 16-year-old of the AV club at the local high school that hacked into.
Check yourself in. Yeah, but I'm sure those parents must have seen it and just thought to themselves,
Lord have mercy. If there's one thing I know for sure, it's this. Cancer sucks.
Yes.
Bottom line. Welcome back to Radio Theology, your weekly dose of faith, hope, love, and music. Pastor Daron here with Ryan and Lisa, joined by the one and only all-star of all-stars of the Smiley Morning Show, of the Morning Mix, of all things, of Pets and what's the
Pet
one?
Pals TV.
Pet Pals TV.
Yeah.
The one and only KJ. KJ, welcome back.
Thank you. It's
Now-
so great to be here.
Now, KJ, you would agree with me that cancer sucks.
I think cancer totally sucks.
Yes, totally sucks. And
Totally.
this is your 12th year hosting KJ's Cancer Totally Sucks party.
Yes, we took it to a new level this year.
Yes.
It's always been the Cancer Sucks Party. Now it is the Cancer Totally Sucks Party because it is an 80s themed. And after 12 years, cancer does still totally suck.
It just keeps sucking.
Yeah, it just keeps on sucking.
You cannot stop the suckage of cancer.
Well,
True.
I mean, we're trying to.
That's true.
Come on, let's be a little more optimistic
I'm sorry.
than that.
I'm sorry. I
So-
just got caught up in the theme.
Bring some hope. Bring some hope to
Yeah.
us, please.
So you are hosting the 12th annual. Tell us about it. Where's it at? How can people come? What's happening?
Okay, this is like a dream come true. I have always wanted the Cancer Sucks Party to be at the Vogue with 16 Candles.
Ooh,
They
yes.
are such an amazing band. They bring a party, and they also really kind of encompass the spirit of the party, which is, joy and coming together and giving strength to people who are going through their battles with cancer right now, giving strength and hope to those who have lost people, that we can find joy again.
Yeah.
It's going to be November 9th at the Vogue, 16 Candles, KJ's Cancer Totally Sucks Party.
I love it. I know that your life has had to be touched by cancer. So I think all of ours have had a family member or somebody. My dad, as a prostate cancer survivor, my mom had breast cancer. So it's like, it's all over the place. So we're in, KJ. We want to help. We want to be there. How do we get tickets? How do we attend? Give us the deets.
If you go to kjscancersucksparty.com, you can get yourself tickets. There's a general admission ticket that gets you in at 9 for when the band starts. But we're having a Cancer Sucks VIP pre-party.
Nice.
$25 or $50. $50 gets you food, VIP balcony, 2 private bars, and complimentary drinks from 2 Deep Brewing Company and Cardinal Spirits.
All right.
Yes, the $25 ticket basically still gets you in early, gets you a good spot, gets you a couple of complimentary drinks as well, but no food.
No food.
I forgot to mention, the VIPs in the balcony get pulled pork sliders, pinwheels.
Come on.
This amazing spread from Cubbyhole Catering, which is donating the food to help us grant
I
a
love
wish
it.
this year.
That's for $50.
Yeah, $50.
It's going to help. It's going to help people realize that cancer sucks, but we're going to raise money. We're going to make a difference. It's KJ's 12th annual Cancer Sucks Party. Information's at kjscancersucksparty.com. And KJ, when we come back, what I want us to talk about here on Radio Theology is you're doing this party and have been doing it for 12 years because not just because you picked a random cause, but cancer has caused a lot of pain in your life.
Yeah, cancer has extremely sucked in my life.
Yeah.
For many years, and I'm tired of it sucking.
Yes.
I
agree.
would like to eventually get to the party that cancer's cured and not cancer sucks.
Yes.
But we are still in the cancer sucks mode, and we will continue on.
Stick with us, because here's the deal. I know that cancer may have impacted your life or something painful. And what I love about what KJ's done is she's taken this painful experience with cancer and allowed it to become fuel for passion to serve and to love and to help others. And I think you might need some of that hope in your life. So stick with us. Radio Theology, a weekly dose of faith, hope, love, and music. Is it possible that pain in your life could actually be the fuel for great purpose and passion? I think it is. It's Radio Theology, your weekly dose of faith, hope, love, and Daron. Pastor Daron here with Ryan and Lisa and KJ. KJ, we love you. You're a friend of the show. You have taught us everything we know about radio.
Wow. Well, you guys are doing a great job without me. And if you don't like the show, then it's not my fault. They should learn more.
KJ, you've been on the airwaves, on TV, all over Indianapolis for so many years. And some people may know your story. Some people might not. But it inspires me every time that we hang out that cancer brought a lot of pain to your life. The past couple of years, career-wise, has kind of been a crazy deal. Mm-hmm. But one thing you've been able to do is take things in stride and allow it to guide you to kind of like that next place of purpose, whether it's hosting your 12th annual KJ's Cancer Sucks Party.com, where people can get tickets and join you November 9th at the Vogue with 16 candles. You're going to grant a girl's wish that is 16 years old that day, right? Or coming up?
She will be turning 16 on Monday, so we need to get her wish granted before then.
It's so good. All the good things. Go check it out, kjscancersucksparty.com. But KJ, when you've gone through, cancer, taking loved ones from you, when job change happens, how have you been able to not get stuck in the pain and just kind of throw a pity party for yourself, but to move on and to use it to bring passion and purpose even to other people's lives?
I think that my healing really comes from being able to help heal others.
Wow.
That has always been a part of my life. And I think when you get outside of yourself, you realize that no matter how dark things are for you, there's somebody that needs some help. And if you can muster up a little energy to give when you feel at that moment that you don't have anything left to give, you actually get a lot more back in return.
I love it. I love it. And that's what you're doing right now. Career-wise right now, you're working for Make-A-Wish, which, for years on the Smiley Morning Show, you guys raised hundreds of thousands of dollars for Make-A-Wish, and that was something you got to do once a year.
Yes.
And the Cancer Sucks Party happens once a year, November 9th, coming up just around the corner. But now you're working with Make-A-Wish kids every single day. Tell us what that's like. I'm still waking up every day trying to really take it in that I am in this place in my journey, that I get to do this. When the day came that all of a sudden I wasn't in radio, which is what I've done since I was 17, and I had never imagined doing anything else, and then I'm driving away from a radio station going, what do I do now? I honestly, it wasn't on my radar. It was like, well, I'll go work for Make-A-Wish. But I was quiet. It was not every day that I trusted the process, but I reminded myself that there was going to be a better day. Yeah.
And one day my phone rang and I didn't know what the number was, and I answered it anyway. And it was Make-A-Wish calling saying, hey, we don't know if you'd want to do this, but we need someone to run the request-a-thon on ZPL from the Make-A-Wish side. And we thought it was worth an ask. And I mean, I felt like it was like this really long silence, and then music started playing, and then you're like, this is the moment in the movie where everything comes together. Whoa!
I love it. I love it. And now you're doing the request, but you're also helping bring awareness and raise partnerships all over the state for Make-A-Wish, aren't you?
Yeah. I get to travel the state. I get to, really, it was really neat. A couple weeks ago, the CEO for Make-A-Wish America actually came in to talk to our chapter, and he said a lot of really incredible things. But one thing that really captured me and kind of stuck with me is he said, I hope you're not going out and asking for money, because Make-A-Wish is an invitation to be a part of changing someone's life.
Wow.
And that is the message that we have. And yes, do we need money? Yes, we do. But the experience that you get when you become a part of a journey of a family whose lives have been turned upside down because some doctor looked at them and they thought this little kid just had a cold, and now they have leukemia or they have some critical illness that you can't spell or pronounce or you've never even heard of. And you can say to them, you know what? I can't change that you're in this place, but I can bring you a little bit of hope. I can bring you a little bit of joy and hopefully some strength along the way to know that there's a better day coming.
I love it. I love it. Listen, if you're stuck in a painful place right now, I want you to know, like KJ said, to trust the process. We believe here on Radio Theology that God's created you on purpose and for a purpose. We tell you every week that he's near you, not far from you, and that he's for you, not against you. And trust that process and look for what he's doing. Even if you're in a place of pain right now, it may be actually God's invitation to allow you to step deeper into the purpose from which he created you. And that's what we hope for you. And we want to see you at KJ's Cancer Totally Sucks party on November 9th. And be a part of bringing some purpose and passion to people's lives through that. It's November 9th at the Vogue. Information at kjscancersucksparty.com. KJ, we love you.
Love you too.
Halloween's just around the corner, so it's time for Holiday History with Horatio Wigglebottom.
Well, hello, Lisa and Daron. And,
great to have you.
And listener in the car. How are you today?
Oh, we're spooky.
It is widely believed that many Halloween traditions originated from the ancient Gaelic harvest festival known as Samhain, which marked the end of the harvest season and the beginning of the darker half of the year. Samhain was seen by the ancient Scots and Irish as a time when the boundary between this world and the other world thinned, which would allow spirits and fairies to enter this world more easily. Are you spooked yet, Pastor Daron?
Honestly, a little bit.
Wonderful. At Samhain, it was believed that these spirits needed to be appeased to ensure that the people and their livestock survived the winter. Offerings of crops and drink were left outside for them, and the souls of the dead were also said to revisit their homes, seeking hospitality. Reminds me of my 30-year-old nephew, Brad, who just can't seem to leave his parents' basement. Playing his Nintendo box, listening to Stone Temple Pilots, smoking doobies and eating Chipotle. Get a job, Bradley. Whoa. I'm sorry.
That escalated quickly,
I
Dr.
got carried away.
Oh, sorry, go ahead. It's fine.
Lisa, have you ever wondered why we call it Halloween?
Yes.
Wonderful. It comes from a Scottish term, All Hallows Even, which means hallowed or holy evening. In Scottish, the word eve is even, and this is shortened to een. Over time, All Hallows Even evolved into the word Halloween. Probably because Happy All Hallows Even doesn't quite roll off the tongue if you're a Scottish 5-year-old dressed up like Braveheart. Speaking of wearing costumes on Halloween, some religious scholars have suggested that by dressing up as creatures like devils, ghosts, or witches, people are able to poke fun at Satan, whose kingdom has been defeated by Jesus Christ. Is that odd to you at all, Pastor Daron?
I mean, it's a different take on it.
Right. 364 days out of the year, American Christian parents tell their kids, don't have a thing to do with the devil. But then one night every year, the entire country basically says, let's party with this guy.
That is a great point, Dr. Wigglebottom.
Thank you. Here's a ghastly Halloween tradition for you. Unmarried women in 19th century Great Britain were told that if they sat in a dark room and gazed into a mirror on Halloween night, the face of their future husband would appear in the mirror.
That's spooky.
However, if they were destined to die before marriage, a skull would appear.
Whoa!
Wow.
Right. All the single ladies, you're going to die alone, Rebecca.
Oh my God.
Quite morbid, right?
Oh, man. Yes, wow.
Americans love Halloween. This year, over 50 million Americans will spend $500 million on costumes for their pets. Yes.
What?
The most popular costumes for pets are the pumpkin, of course, followed by the hot dog. That's clever if you see a little dachshund walking around. Literally a hot dog. Oh, and a painfully embarrassed Great Dane in a bumblebee outfit in third place. Would you like to hear some puns about Halloween that I came up with in the car ride?
Absolutely, Dr. Wigglebottom.
Wonderful. What happens when a ghost blows his nose?
I don't know.
He looks at the boogers.
That's terrible.
What do you call a haunted chicken?
I don't know.
A poultrygeist.
Oh, nice.
And what do vegan zombies eat? Vegan zombies. What do they eat?
Tell us.
Grains.
Oh, my gosh.
You get it? Because normally a zombie would say brains, but he's vegan. It's wonderful.
That's
Yes.
This has been my Halloween edition of Holiday History here on Radio Theology. If you want to hear more from me, Professor Horatio Wigglebottom, Ph.D., just visit us at radiotheology.com.
You guys ever see somebody on Instagram, or maybe you got a friend and there's a lot of big stuff going on in their life, but they always look right. The hair, the makeup, everything looks like they're put together. Mm-hmm. But Lisa, give us some truth about that today.
The truth is that just because they carry it well doesn't mean it's not heavy.
Ooh, I like it. Radio Theology, your weekly dose of faith, hope, love, and music. Pastor Daron here with Ryan and Lisa, and it's time for...
So you guys, the other day I hosted a little party. We had a hot tub moving party, which I know.
You mean you tried to trick your friends to move a hot tub by saying, I'll feed you?
Successfully.
I fell for it. Hook,
Successfully.
line, and
She
sinker.
got you, Ryan?
Oh, just hook, line, and sinker.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm going to feed you. I promise it's going to take 10 minutes, and then I'll feed you all the snacks, you know?
All right.
Yes, so we filled our home with strong, capable, muscular men.
Yeah.
And then, suddenly all the neighborhood children.
Wait a second. I didn't get an invite.
I know, because you live in Ohio.
Yeah, you live
We're in
40 minutes
Illinois.
away from us.
Oh, if you wanted somebody strong who's been in the gym,
Yeah.
blew out his back. Sorry. It's not about me. It's about you. Go ahead.
But the night ended with an extreme meltdown from my daughter.
Oh, boy.
She couldn't handle all of the people and all of the things and all the excitement of having two of her best friends over at the same time, and everything made
Overload.
her lose her ever-loving mind. And so, as the dinner party left, basically I was in tears on the stairs, and Josie's in tears in her room.
Oh, boy.
And people are just grabbing their children and saying awkward goodbyes and leaving. And I'm like, this, right? You were there, Ryan.
Guilty.
You
Yeah.
witnessed it. You're like, oh, bye. Kids, you're coming with me.
Yeah, I was like, we're
Out,
leaving now. We're leaving now. Let them have their time and space. We are going. We love you. Yeah.
But I will say that so many women that I meet when I speak come to me and say, oh my gosh, how do you do it all? You have it all together. And I'm like, oh, are you kidding me? And I want to say to you, just because I carry it well, and I don't think I carry it well, but I must put on the appearance that I carry something well, doesn't mean it's not heavy.
Radio Theology, a weekly dose of faith, hope, love, and music. Pastor here with Ryan and Lisa. And Lisa, that quote is huge. And I think there's a lot of ladies that need to hear that this morning.
Yeah, for sure. When I just had a friend host another party. Sounds like all we do is party around our house.
Gosh.
Life is so terrible, you guys. It's
must be
really
so
heavy.
nice.
I carry it really well. No, she hosted a party, but 2 days before the party, she got diagnosed with breast cancer.
Oh, wow.
And we were like, whoa. But she didn't let on to any of this. And finally, at the end of the night, I was like, you were a little off tonight. Are you okay? Boom. Yeah, 2 days ago, I found out I have breast cancer, and I don't know what the future looks like.
Wow.
And I'm like, wow, you carried it so well, but it doesn't mean it's not heavy. And so my encouragement to you is that, one, if you're carrying something that is heavy, it's okay to talk about it and tell people.
Let people in on it.
Let them in on your story. Let them carry some of the weight for you. But then, two, just have the understanding all the time that people are carrying really, really heavy things.
Yeah.
People are getting diagnoses, and people's husbands just up and leave. I mean, people are going through some of the worst things, and it's everyone we meet. And so we just need to, show love and kindness in all of the small ways. It's nothing huge and magnanimous, but it's got to be one small showing of love at a time.
I love it.
Wow.
Lisa, every single week, Lisa's Pieces, just giving you some pieces to bring some peace to your soul. If you want to connect with Lisa and the thousands of ladies that are part of the IamMotherOfTheYear.com movement, just go right there to IamMotherOfTheYear.com. Plenty of more encouragement where that came from. And stick with us. It's Radio Theology, a weekly dose of faith, hope, love, and music.
It's the thought of the day with Pastor Daron.
Would you believe it's possible that some of the most painful experiences in your life could actually turn out for the positive? Not only do I think that's possible, friend, I actually think it's probable. This morning on Radio Theology, Smiley Morning Show All-Star KJ shared her story of how the pain of losing her parents to cancer has become a fire of passion to raise awareness and money for cancer research. KJ is entering her 12th year of hosting her KJ Cancer Sucks party. Where did she get the idea to host a party, and why has she hosted it for 12 straight years? Because she doesn't want to see the pain of losing both her parents to cancer wasted. That pain has been the fuel for passion to make a difference. That's KJ's inspirational story. What is yours going to be? You see, the thing I love about following Jesus is that nothing in our lives is wasted. Jesus will leverage the good, the bad, the painful, and the ugly to give us life and to give us life to the full. Through his grace and love and his providence, Jesus is able to even take the worst of times and transform them and redeem them to be the fuel for you to live a passionate life full of purpose. And isn't that the kind of life you really want to live? We all have pain, every single one of us, because you know what? You know it. Life is hard. But do you want to be defined by your pain? I know you don't. Don't you want to be defined by your best, not your worst? Do you really want to give the pain in your life that kind of power? I know you don't. So how do you find passion from pain? Well, step one is you give it to Jesus. Now listen, I know that sounds really simplistic, and I know that it can be really scary to look at the pain in your life. But if you can begin to look at it with Jesus as your companion, you can bring it out into the light and into his love, and you can realize that it's something you don't have to run away from. The awesome thing about Jesus is he knows a lot about pain. Jesus' experience with pain makes him an expert in transforming it into passion. God has created you on purpose and for a purpose, and that purpose is to be lived out with great passion. God has designed you to serve others in a place of great passion, because Jesus knows that life is difficult. And if you're not serving in an area in which you're passionate, you will quit when things get difficult. But once you find something you're passionate about, you will stop at nothing to see it succeed. So, step 1, give your pain to Jesus. Step 2, ask him to heal it. And step 3, start looking for ways to serve others that may have experienced similar pain in their lives. You are created on purpose and for purpose, friend. But if you don't know where to find that purpose, some of your greatest pain might be the best place to start. This is Pastor Daron Earlywine, and that has been your Radio Theology Thought of the Day.
Wow, I'm feeling inspired, encouraged, and motivated to live a really full and positive life today, you guys.
Yes.
Really because of you.
Way to go.
It's basically because of you, Daron, and
Go
you,
ahead.
Lisa.
Continue to
I
heap
can only
compliments on us.
imagine that if you're in your car, at the gym, wherever you are listening to this, that you are feeling the same way.
That is the goal.
And one way that you can get more of this content is to subscribe and listen to our podcast. Wherever you get your podcast, just search for the Radio Theology Podcast. We want to connect with you on social as well, right, Lisa?
Oh, yes. At radiotheology.com, you can give us a like and a follow and join the growing Radio Theology community there.
Whoop,
And
whoop.
this week, we just were added to Spotify.
Say what?
Oh, yeah.
That's
So
what
head over
all
to
the kids are doing
I
today.
tell you what. So head over to Spotify and just search for the Radio Theology. We're on there. You'll enjoy it. We'll be with you every single day of your life. Kind of like Jesus. Anyway,
That's right. Jesu Christe.
thank you for listening this morning. We love you. And never forget these 3 things. God's for you, not against you. He is near you, not far from you. And he's created you on purpose and for purpose. We'll talk to you next week right here on Radio Theology.